Yo, what's crackin' lockin' mix mackin'? My name is Employer, help me spell backwards, and this is a full complete Easter egg guide for Terminus on Black Ops 6 Zombies. So first, you need to turn on power and get Pack-a-Punch open, so go ahead and do the 3 power generators, first of which is right here in spawn in the guard station. The next one is going to be in the jug room to the right. After you pass up jug, you'll look to the right, it'll be right there. And the last one will be here in Biolab, just right here. After that's done, jump into the water and activate the lift to pull Pack-a-Punch up to the air. After this, you're going to want to make your way over to an arsenal or an armory, this little area right here, and you are going to want to put dead wire ammo mod onto your gun. After this, go back to the Pack-a-Punch machine and interact with the lift to lift it up and pay the 500 points. As it's lifting up, face away from the Pack-a-Punch machine. Inside of a window in a hidden room, there is a box that you will need to shoot with your dead wire, along with another box when you turn directly to the right, and then another one right behind you on the wall. You will need to shoot all 3 of these, and then you are going to need to make your way into the room with jug, shoot the one on the wall above the power generator that you used earlier, and then you are going to want to run just outside of the jug room, and on the wall next to the window is going to be another power box. After this, under some cabinets trapped will be a zombie on the ground inside of the room that opens, and it will drop an EMF fob that you will need to pick up. After this, make your way to the C tower, and right next to the door with the power symbol on it and the elemental pop, there is a briefcase with a zombie hand. Interact with it, and there will be a Multiphasic Resonator inside of it that opens up that you will need to pick up. After this, go back to the hidden room you opened earlier, and there is a computer you will interact with to put the Multiphasic Resonator inside of it. Now you are looking for 3 computers around the map. The first of which is just outside of the quick revive room, right here. Each computer will have a symbol and a red letter next to it. Remember that. The next one is just outside of the room with stamina up to the right. Whenever you walk out of the room with stamina up, you will interact with that as well and turn it on. You will need to interact with these to turn them on. The last one you need to find to interact with will be found just next to the stairs to go to the docks down here near the mining tunnels and sea caves. Once this is done, you need to go back to the room and interact with the computer again. It is going to have sticky notes with all the symbols from all the computers to make it a little bit easier on you, but there is going to be 2 whiteboards onto your left side. They are going to have equations. You're going to need to do math to solve this, but there is a way to get around this, and that is to simply just bribe Peck. So we'll get to that, but first, to briefly explain how to do this, this is our symbol for X. We are looking for an X symbol that is exactly identical to this one on the sticky note. We can see here that it lines up next to the 2 and above the 2, so it would be 22. So whatever number it lines up with to the left, and then whatever number it is above, below it, those 2 numbers, put them together, and that is the number you put into the equation. So again, ours lined up with a 2 and was above the 2, so our number would be 22, so it would be 2 times 22, which is 44, plus 11, which is 55. So 55 is going to be our first digit for the code. Now our Y symbol is the filled in dot to the left with the empty dot to the right. We can see here on the board to the left that to the left of that symbol is the 1, and below that symbol is also the 1. So to the left, that'd be the first digit, 1, bottom digit, 1, so that's 11. 1 and 1 together is 11. But we can look at this board now and see that we also need our Z digit. So let's look for Z now. So Z is the filled in dot above and the empty dot below. The filled in dot above and empty dot below is aligned with the 1 to the left of it and the 0 below it, making it the digit 10. So we have 11 and 10 for our Y and Z numbers. Now let's solve this equation. So first of all, always make sure you're doing PEMDAS and doing everything in parentheses first. But if it's 2Z, then that means 2 times 10. So 2 times 10 is 20. Then plus Y, which is 11. 20 plus 11 is 31. Minus 5 is 26. So 26 is going to be our next digit. 5526. So since we know our X is now 22, and our Y is 11, and our Z digit is 10, we now can do this last equation. So X is 22, Y is 11, Z is 10. So do parentheses first, Y plus Z, 11 plus 10 equals 21. Then you do the one outside of the parentheses, so 21 minus X, which is 22. So 21 minus 22 equals out to -1. But since we obviously can't put in a negative input, we're just going to put 1. So our digits for our code are 55, 26, and 1. I hope to God that I explained that right. Damn you, Treyarch, for making me do math, PEMDAS, algebraic equations, and explain it to people. But don't worry, in case you don't want to do all that math, there is a way to actually skip the math equation step and just completely bribe Peck. So here's how we're going to do that. First, you need to interact with the computer to get the code started, but then back right out of it. Peck is going to then be prompted to give you a line saying something like, I might be persuaded to give you the code. Once this audio cue prompts, you are able to then go back to the guard station, and once you get back to the guard station, there is going to be some glass that Peck and Strauss are sitting down working on computers behind. Once you get there, you will notice you can go up and pay $5,000 to Peck, and on the computer screen to the left behind the glass will be the code you need, 552601. You then go back to the computer, interact with it again, and input the code 552601, and then after you have completely entered this code correctly, there will start flashing a map on the computer that you're interacting with, and whenever the map is flashing, that means that you are going to need to end the round to calibrate it. So once you end the round, it will then be calibrated and give you a specific location to go to. So go ahead and end the round real quick. And once the round is ended, go back to the computer. There will now be a location it is stopped on. Pick up the Multiphasic Resonator, and you can see that location, and then you can mark it on the actual big-ass TAC map. Whenever you go to your scoreboard, just go over to TAC map and mark it on the map. It'll always be the same 3 locations. Go to the one that it marked first. Go to the biolab or the docks and interact with the machines to get a boat, and then get inside the boat and go to the island. Once you get to the island, go ahead and get out of your boat, and then you will see a blue glowing electric orb. You'll need to interact with it to put the Multiphasic Resonator into it. Now you are on a step where a bunch of zombies are going to spawn, so be careful, but the glowing orb is going to then shoot one of the zombies with electricity. That zombie you're going to need to kill. He'll drop a blue glowing orb of electricity on down to the ground. You'll pick it up by interacting with it, and whenever you pick up the blue orb by interacting with it, you will then carry that blue orb back over to the blue orb that you started this with, and you will want to just simply walk it into the orb. It will then do this again, and you will need to yet again kill another zombie that it lasers, and you will need to pick up that orb and carry that into there as well. The orb will then fly away to another island, which is always going to be Crab Island. Pick up the Multiphasic Resonator, get another boat from the island you're on, and then go over to Crab Island. It will always go over to Crab Island as the second island. Just remember that. Once you're at Crab Island, you'll notice a floating green orb. Again, interact with it, put the Multiphasic Resonator into it, and you'll need to do the exact same step again. It will shoot a zombie randomly with the green gas from the ball, and then you'll need to kill that zombie, pick up the green gas that it drops, and whenever you pick up that ball of gas that it drops, you'll want to run it into it just the exact same way as you did the last orb. Once again, you will do this twice. Just walk it right into it. It will then fly away once again, and whenever it flies away, it will be going to Temple Island every time. Always Temple Island. Make sure to pick up the Multiphasic Resonator, and then get a boat from the island you're on, and then go to Temple Island. Once you get to Temple Island, you'll notice a purple orb. Again, you will need to interact with it and put the Multiphasic Resonator under it, and you will do the same step again. It will shoot a zombie with purple electricity. You will want to kill that specific zombie that is shot by it, and then you'll want to pick up the orb it drops, and you'll want to run it into the original orb. You'll want to do this twice. You will know you've done this right whenever you've done it twice and it flashes white. It will then drop an item that you need to pick up. It is the AMP munition. Once you pick up the AMP munition, you can then get into a boat and go back to the room that you got the Multiphasic Resonator from and did the code in. And in that room, there is the Beamsmasher buildable craft table. You will then want to go up to the table and build the Beamsmasher. After this, make sure to Pack-a-Punch your Beamsmasher to Tier 1. Tier 1 Pack-a-Punch on Beamsmasher is necessary. You're then looking for a keycard underneath of a Tentacle trap, the first spawn of which is right here outside of Jug Room. The next one you're going to find is just outside of the Sea Caves in the Biolab. And then again, another one is here by the mining tunnels and the Biolab. Again, you are looking for a key card underneath of the Tentacle trap. Once you see the key card, start the Tentacle trap, use your Tier 1 Pack-a-Punch Beamsmasher, and shoot the Tentacle trap with the Beamsmasher. While you are doing this, it should drop a golden hard drive, and whenever it drops that, you want to pick up the golden hard drive and take it to Peck. Again, Peck is behind the glass in the guard station. Interact with this deposit box right here, and you will see it slowly go in. Then you will hear Peck talk a bit. After this, go just to the left of the guard station where Peck is. In the quick revive room, the hour hand on this clock symbol, mine is a 4. Remember where the hour hand is, because this is the first digit for a code that you're about to need. For the second digit of the code you're about to need, go into the mess hall right here and look at this chalkboard. The mess hall has a gobblegum machine and it has an armory. There is a playing card on the chalkboard, and whenever you look at the playing card, whatever number it is, that is the number that you are going to have as your second digit. So mine was 2, so my code so far is 4 and 2. If the playing card is an ace, that just means it's a 1. For the last digit of this code, you will then make your way through the jug room, and right across from the jug room where this crafting table is whenever you're headed towards the sea tower, go into this room, and on the wall next to the crafting table, there will be a safety first days since last injury. Mine says 1. That number will be your next digit. After this, go into the biolab, and in the middle of the biolab, in this middle area, there's a giant machine. You're going to need to come up to this giant machine, and where this little window is with a code lock input under it, you will then want to interact with it. It'll have Nathan, Maya's brother, appear in it. He'll start doing some dialogue, and once he's done doing dialogue, you can interact with the machine again, and whenever you go to interact with the machine again, you will then input the code that you got from the clock and the playing card and the safety first poster. After this, there are these little release valves on the side of the machine. You will need to interact with one. But if you are playing co-op, you will all need to be interacting with one on different parts. There are 4 different ones around the machine. You will all need to be interacting with them at the exact same time for it to work. So try to just count it down if you're playing co-op. Once you input the code and interact with the release valve, you are then going to have a flash of white and you're in a lockdown step. You cannot leave the biolab, so make sure before you go into here that you are as prepared as possible. This is a boss fight. You're going to be fighting Nathan, and Nathan is a giant amalgam essentially, but he's a lot more tanky and beefy. While you're also fighting him, there will be a bunch of zombies that are super sprinters that'll go after you, so try to kind of be careful during this, but yeah, try to take down the boss, Nathan, as quickly as possible. Again, he is an amalgam. After you beat Nathan, a cutscene will begin to play. This is a mid-game cutscene. This is halfway through the Easter egg. This is not the end of the Easter egg. Just remember that. This is the halfway point. There are 2 boss fights here. After the cutscene ends, jump into the water and find a golden key card in the water on the ground. It will look like this, and pick it up. After this, go to the platforms in the biolab and get a boat and make your way towards the big ship just outside of the biolab. Instead of going onto the big ship though, once you see the big ship, you will want to go underneath of it in this little hole right here, and there is going to be a ladder that you're going to want to climb up, and there's a hatch that the key card is now going to open. You need to climb up that ladder, go through that hatch, and once you're in there, it is another lockdown step, and you need to be very careful. Once you're in there, pick up these little nodes right here. You will need to pick up both, but you can only pick up one at a time, so pick up one, and then you're in a lockdown step, so be very careful. Kind of watch your back, watch all 4 corners, but you should be able to survive through this pretty easily. After that, go through the hatch and get back into your boat and go back to the main land. You are now trying to put this node into a specific pipe that is missing one. There are 3 locations that are missing pipes, one of which is here in the mining tunnels, and you are going to want to go ahead and just interact with that until it fills up. You may need to watch your back because there are zombies that are going to be attacking you. If you're playing co-op, have a teammate defend you. As for the other 2 locations, the first one is over here by the docks right here. And then the other one is right across from the ship here on Crab Island, just on this part right here. If you're playing co-op, have 2 people grab the nodes, that way each person can hold one, but if you're playing solo, you're going to have to go back into the ship and back up into the hatch to pick up the other node, and you do not need to do a lockdown step the second time. Just get back out of the boat, go back over to the boat, underneath it, go back up the hatch ladder, and pick up the other node, and then put it back into the other one, into the other location that you have found. Once you have found all 3 locations, whichever ones are missing, just put them into those locations. After this, go back to the guard station and interact with Peck and Strauss again, and Sam will start talking, Peck will start talking, they'll all have this little conversation, and then they will bring out the hacking device in the drop box, which you're going to need to pick up. After this, go to the docks or the biolab, whichever way you prefer, whichever one you're closer to. Get into another boat and drive around until you see a buoy with a satellite dish on it. There's one by Crab Island. I typically go to the docks and go straight to that one. It's in between Crab Island and the boat. You'll want to go up to the buoy, get out of your boat, go up to the buoy and interact with it. Hold square until the hacking device goes up and fully hack it all the way. And then you are on a timer. You have 2 minutes to get 3 more done. The next one is just past Temple Island over here. Just keep going past Temple Island and you will see it right there. Again, you'll want to go up to it, get out of your boat, go up to it and interact with it and hold interact and hack it. For the next one, keep driving around the island until you see these 2 rocks right here. Go in between them. There are going to be some parasites flying around it. Go up to this one with the satellite and also do the same. Get out, interact with it, and hack it. After this, your screen is going to flash white, and you need to hurry up as fast as you can back to the biolab, as Dr. Modi is going to start a bomb in a self-destructive sequence for the map itself. It will blow up the map. You are on a 5-minute timer, and you need to defuse 3 bombs around the map, the first of which is right here next to this ammo crate right here, and you will need to defuse them all the way, and you need to be very careful. There will be parasites, super sprinter zombies, and it is a lockdown step again, and you will have possibly amalgam spawning on you sometimes, and even manglers, so be very careful. The next one is going to be just over here in the same area downstairs to the left, all the way over here. Go ahead and interact with that one as well, and do that one as well. Defuse all 3 bombs. For the next one, go up the stairs to the second floor of the biolab, but do not go up the next set of stairs. Whenever you get to those set of stairs, go under them. That is where the next bomb is going to be. You will need to defuse that one as well. After this is done, you'll want to go up to this white door on the bottom floor of the biolab, interact with it, and it will start the boss fight or a vote for the boss fight final encounter. Whenever you interact with it and it starts the boss fight, you will then be teleported and taken into the actual boss fight. You can do this anytime after the bomb step, so just make sure that you do everything just right, or that you're as prepared as possible, and then go ahead and go into the boss fight. So the boss fight has 3 main phases, and it's really hard, as you can see in this footage right here by Coach Ferret. Shout out to him. I actually downed multiple times. The first phase, you're going to want to shoot a red orb on the boss's shoulder anytime he pops up on the map. In the second phase, you're going to want to shoot his tentacles anytime he pops up. And in the third phase, he's going to have this blue orb stuff on him that you're going to want to get rid of. After that, you've done the boss fight. Congratulations. Subscribe. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, and I'll see you guys.